The company name is Yes Communities. They're in Denver, Colorado. I have reported multiple times over many, many years a violation of criminal acts against both state and federal law, stalking, and among other criminal activity. And the landlord has ignored it, not done anything about it, blown it off. And the bottom line is that they are doing immoral, unethical business practice. They are not a moral or ethical company. And I am here to say that people, reviews and complaints about them, I can actually vouch that they are true because I have read everyone's complaint and review, and I've experienced what most of those people complain about. We had a case, a lawsuit going against individuals that lived at the park. We went to trial, but as of last night, I guess they are trying to appeal it and go back to court. But they really, by what I read, their declaration, that it's all lies anyways, and I can prove that it's all lies. Yes Communities has a major issue. If you go on their website, or you go anywhere that even on your complaints or reviews from people, no one can really prove it because they mostly have an arbitration agreement within their lease. So they're stuck. They can't go after Yes Communities. They can't do anything. As I told you before, I don't have an arbitration agreement. And Yes Communities, I have turned into now the Attorney General's office, the State Attorney General's office under the consumers, to do an investigation for immoral and unethical practice. They allow criminals to live here. They don't do lease. They have people that they don't even know who lives here. They just recently, I saw that there was an old manager. There was a manager of Yes Communities when the veteran business owner owned the company. Her name is listed as the salesperson of their property, but she retired in 2017. They have subleasers here. They have people living in people's trailers that they don't even know who lives in this property. They got major crime issues. Back in 2018, the neighborhood had to have a neighborhood community watch because the burglaries were going on. The two individuals that I'm suing, or my attorneys are suing, that did start the original stalking. When we moved here in 2015, we rented from Yes Communities with the old owner, the veteran owner, and Phyllis Hill, the manager that had been here for 20 years. We never had any issues because she was very straight by the book. Once this new owner took over and he's a silent partner, so they don't even want you to know who he is. He's from Singapore, India. And he owns majority of the shares of the company. He's not even an American. He's a foreign owner that is partnering with a New York business owner out of New York. And it doesn't matter what you report. You know, I looked up under Texas law, under the Tenant Landlord Act in Texas, and the community rules are supposed to be so you have a peace, enjoyment environment. It also is supposed to be for safety and welfare of the tenants. When you have drugs, when you have criminal activity, when you have you report rule violations and nothing gets done, when you have illegal immigrants living here, when you have gang members living here, and you don't even know who lives in your park, that is not an enjoyment, family-oriented community at all. That is, all I care about is rent money, and that is it. They had taken out Fannie Mae loans. They had taken out money from agencies and governments to try to house these people. They fall under HUD. It's a Section 8 program. I mean, manufactured homes are. They are not considered like residential or multi-family homes. So they have different regulations and rules. And I as a veteran and served my country for 23 years, I stand for what's right. There's a lot of them that there are a few people that live here that just want to be left alone. They want peace. They just want to live, and they can't afford to live, in a residential home or a multi-family home. So they're on a fixed income and they live here. But they're not into the criminal activity. They're not into anything. The two individuals I'm suing, they aren't even supposed to live here. Brett lives with his wife, who lives in his mother with their mother, and they live in that trailer. Josh, he claims and he tells everyone he's married to two women, and he lives with one woman that he's married to, but it's into her name and into grandma's name in the trailer. But these individuals, they are shady. They obviously can't live anywhere else or a multi-family, so that's why they stay here. But they are criminals. Brett, I have just recently talked to the city mayor, and I brought up my concerns. And as I told you in an email, I'm looking to run for state legislator. Why? Because I see that there's a major problem within the city, within the government, and within these private foreign business owners that are taking over companies in America. So the bottom line is, all those complaints and reviews that I've read from all those people from all their parks across the United States are true. They are very, very true. I feel sorry for those people, and somebody has to stand up to this business and to this government that is not enforcing and doing the right thing when it comes to the laws. So that's why I have started that campaign, and that is why I'm still pursuing to go after Yes Community's reputation by any means and every means possible, because the truth must be told. The truth must be told. When I have $700,000 to $500,000 home communities, HOAs that live around this trailer park. I have talked to those HOAs. I have talked to the people around this park. They don't like this park. They think this park is a public nuisance, that this park brings down their property value. Well, it does. That the crime is increased in their communities because of this park. So when you have issues like that, there's a problem. Now you have owners that don't fix the streets, that don't do anything, but they're building new properties, or they took a phase and made a phase 3, and they're putting in new more homes there. Plus, they jack the prices up, so it's ridiculous for what they're asking for. I wouldn't spend that money for it. That's why I bought this trailer back in 2018, because I knew that they were always jacking up the prices, and you were paying more than what the trailer was actually worth. That I waited for some good deal to come up like this one, which was a deal where it was supposedly Yes Communities announced it as which they were selling for the actual owner of the property, which they're not supposed to do. The owner's supposed to sell the property. Yes Communities is not supposed to lease it on their site and sell it for the owner, but they did, and they were evicting the owner, and so they sold us the property. So we had cash and we bought it, and it was a fixer-upper, and we have done so. My problem is that I hold Yes Communities responsible, because as a landlord and as a prior business owner, anything my employees do, I was held responsible. I had to go and talk to the client. I had to make it up to the clients. If my employees messed up, I had to bring gifts like gift cards and things of that sort to make it right. I am responsible as the owner of my company for the actions of everything that happens in my company. The owners and the multi-billionaires in Denver, Colorado are responsible for the actions of all their parks and taking care of the residents of all their parks and the tenants of all their parks. Now, I have gotten some dumb violations in the past, which I have told them they can basically take those violations and put it where the sun don't shine, because I have 3 flags that are hanging on my building that I own, and they told me I have to take those down. I don't have to take those down because, 1, that's a First Amendment right. Number 2 is because I own the property. I rent the land from them. It's their land, but I own the building and I can put whatever I want on my building and they can't tell me any different. So I've had some issues with them, but I have emails for over since 2018. Well, actually before that, probably 2016, 17, somewhere around there. I have emails. Well, it was 2017. I have emails from there all the way up to current, where I emailed the manager about issues that, according to their rules, is a violation, or it is a actually state or federal law violation, and they don't do anything about it. Nothing at all. Because the more that I put out the truth, obviously I'm getting attention to yes communities, and I'm getting attention to the city mayor, because more and more pressure is coming on me. Now, I don't know where all of a sudden that these two knuckleheads that robbed me and that whatever. But I got news for them. I am in cahoot, or I talked to the original manager that was here for 20 years. I know all the secrets. I know about Brett's brother being a police officer and how many times he's been arrested for drugs, and he's gotten away with it with the DA and the city, Wiley, and yes, community still allows him to live here and everything else. I know all that information. And Phyllis Hill also knows all the information. She pretty much knows all these individuals that live here. And she knows the truth about this park. She's retired and she has nothing to do with this park no more. But she knows what I'm trying to do. And she knows I'm trying to stand up with what is right. What is right. Somebody has to stand up. I even had people from Yes Community's website come to me and say we should get together and all do a class action lawsuit against Yes Communities, because they are fed up with the way Yes Communities does things. And it's ridiculous. This landlord is doing immoral and unethical business practice. Bottom line, he's getting rich. He's living off his yachts. He's got his billions, but he don't care about any of these fixed income people. He don't care about any of these things. All he cares about is making more and more and more money. And he doesn't care if people get shot, if people get robbed, if people get freaking, if there's drugs and kids are getting addicted. He don't care. Well, first off, yes, communities in the city of Wiley need to pay for the damages that they cost because they neglected to do their responsibilities as their duties to enforce the laws. Second, I'm hoping that there's changes. I hope that it puts so much damper on and so much pressure on yes communities that they have to do the right thing. That they actually do make it a family-oriented community, because when the veteran owner owned it and when Phyllis Hill was manager, it was a nice place to live. That's why I bought this trailer, because it was a nice place to live. It wasn't a big crime issue or anything of that sort as far as I knew. But see, I don't hardly know anybody. But these two individuals, they know everybody. But they like to claim that the innocent part and the victim part, when they're criminals. And bottom line, I can prove it because they got a background to prove it. And I don't have a criminal record, so they can't prove. Now they're trying to claim that my PTSD is making me hallucinate. Well, I hate to tell them, but I have medical documentation from a doctor from VA, and actually that actually is discrimination, so that's kind of like a bad thing to say in their statement, because I don't hallucinate about anything. You have common sense, and that's the problem. Most people don't use common sense anymore. It's pretty simple when you can figure out when something don't add up and something's not right.